Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Temple Buddhist Center's Earth Week kickoff today, April 16th, planning festivities for today, and we're doing our tree giveaway next Sunday, so we're very excited to have many special guests in the building with us today, and so I'll talk some more about that here in a little while. Before that, I simply want to welcome you. My name is Victor, and I'm honored to be of service this morning. And we hope that our service here at Temple Buddhist Center finds each and every one of you happy and healthy. But please know that if you are struggling in any way, we hope that Temple Buddhist Center and this Sangha can be a source of strength for you, a source of refuge as we open our hearts to you and to your loved ones. Let's begin this morning with some conscious breath work. A conscious breath is where you seal the mouth, breathe deeply through the nose, and hold that breath for a few moments and then release slowly so that the exhale is longer than the inhale. And of course, if you have a head cold or allergies and are having difficulty breathing, then breathe in any way you possibly can. It's totally fine, we understand. Let's begin. Holding that breath for a moment, feeling the fullness of the lungs, and releasing slowly. Nice, long, slow, metered release. And as you release, checking in with the body, noticing any points of tension or contraction, remembering to release the forehead, unfurrow the eyebrows, the jaw rests easy, the shoulders drop, and the belly softens. Finding a new level of gentleness and ease with every out-breath. And a second conscious breath together. Holding for a moment and releasing. And as you release, giving yourself full and complete permission to unplug from that energy that we rely upon for going and doing, accomplishing, striving, efforting. As together in sacred Sangha, we cultivate the energy of simply being. And a third conscious breath together. And releasing. And as we release on this third breath together, we invite into our awareness the present moment. It might seem like a small increment of time, but the present moment has no beginning and no end, and we are always arriving in the here and the now. And so again, I'd like to welcome not only our Sangha here, joining us physically present in the temple, but also our Sangha from all around the world that is joining us via our live streaming. Welcome to all of our Sangha joining us through the airwaves. Also welcome to anyone who is brand new to Temple Buddhist Center. We are very happy that you are here today. Here at Temple Buddhist Center, we always like to begin our services with a little bit of chanting. Chanting is an integral part of every tradition. Chanting is not about being a singer. Chanting is about having a voice. Chanting is about the expression of what is sacred within you and sharing that with the world. Our chant this morning is Namo Amitabha Hamsa, Hamsa. Namo Amitabha, Hamsa, Hamsa. And this chant from the Buddhist tradition, and it is in Sanskrit, this chant honors the Buddha of limitless light, that essence of who we are, our Buddha nature, which is boundless, it is endless, always accessible to us. And so Namo Amitabha is naming the Buddha of limitless light, and Hamsa means I am that. I am that. And so we'll begin with a conscious breath together. And let's begin. Namo Amitabha, Hamsa, Hamsa. 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 With a smile. Namo Amitabha, Hamsa, Hamsa. Namo Amitabha, Hamsa, Hamsa. Once more. Namo Amitabha, Hamsa, Hamsa. Here at Temple Buddhist Center, we practice Western Buddhism. Western Buddhism is a blend of Eastern philosophy and Western psychology. And this new and exciting form of spirituality is dynamic. It's growing, learning, changing with us as we find out more about this precious human condition. It is inclusive. It is active. And it focuses on core Buddhist insights as well as mindfulness, meditation, and their practical applications in our daily lives. Our goal here is not to get everyone to agree on a specific lineage or philosophy or sect of Buddhism, but rather it is on a shared experience of mindfulness, oneness, and love. Whether we are chanting together, sharing from the heart, or spending time in noble silence, we understand and respect that you will participate at a level that is comfortable for you. We take refuge in the three jewels and acknowledge these core values as expressions of the awakened mind, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. We value awareness of our own Buddha nature, as well as the Buddha nature of all beings, bringing a fresh and a new perspective to each and every encounter. And the second jewel, the Dharma, the truth teachings that release us from fear and from delusion and help us to realize the true nature of who we are. And finally, Sangha, our spiritual community, an essential part of growth where we come together to help each other, to practice and to help each other along every step of the path. And so let's take a moment now to silence any cell phones or electronic devices. any beepers, buzzers, or barkers that you might have with you as we prepare now for a time in meditation and contemplation. Just a quick reminder, too, that there are tissues, there are throat lozenges or cough drops that are on the altar at the back of the meditation hall. So there are also cushions up front. Looks like we have one or two left for those of you that might want to sit zazen or cross-legged in cross-legged fashion. And so we will begin our time in meditation with the prayer of refuge, which we will recite 3 times for the 3 jewels. Let's begin first with a conscious breath together. Grounding, centering, arriving. Together. In Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, we go for refuge until fully awakened through the power of generosity, ethics, patience, enthusiastic effort, concentration, and wisdom. For the sake of all beings, may we realize and demonstrate our innate goodness. In Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, we go for refuge until fully awakened through the power of generosity, ethics, patience, enthusiastic effort, concentration, and wisdom. For the sake of all beings, may we realize and demonstrate our innate goodness. In Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, we go for refuge until fully awakened through the power of generosity, ethics, patience, enthusiastic effort, concentration, and wisdom. For the sake of all beings, may we realize and demonstrate our innate goodness. And so, as we prepare now for a time in meditation, if you have an extensive practice, then we invite you to practice in a way that is fitting for you this morning. If perhaps you are newer to meditation, then we're going to begin with a dedication of intention. We will awaken the bell 3 times for the 3 jewels, and then I will lead us in a brief guided meditation that's designed to assist you in moving into the stillness. We will spend approximately 10 to 12 minutes this morning in noble silence, connecting with our Sangha near and far in consciousness. Afterwards, I will gently bring us out of meditation. I will sound the return bell, and then it will be time for today's Dharma talk or teaching. And today we have a special Dharma talk. Today we have a panel of guests joining us today. Ms. Sammy Aaron and Mr. Carl Stafford will be joining me on the stage talking about conscious activism. And so, let's take another conscious breath as we prepare for meditation. Body, speech, and mind in perfect oneness, I send my heart along with the sound of the bell. May the hearers awaken from forgetfulness, transcend the path of anxiety and sorrow, and realize the true nature of who they are. And so as the sound of the bell recedes, guiding us, showing us the way into a deep stillness. If you need to adjust your posture or take another conscious breath or two, whatever is necessary to partner with the body to find a deeper sense of ease and well-being. And as the breath settles in now to its natural flow, its natural rhythm, we bring our awareness to the rise and fall of the tummy with each breath. Let that be home base. Let that be your point of reference that you return to again and again. And so, connected to the breath, the body is gentle, light, easy. We can bring our awareness now to awareness itself, noticing when the mind becomes distracted by a sound, perhaps in the hallway or in the room. Noticing when the mind becomes distracted by a sensation, like an itch or an ache, or perhaps a tummy rumble. And noticing when the mind becomes distracted by a thought, or perhaps even a string of thoughts. All these things, they just come and they go. They rise and they fall. Our practice is to cultivate that vast, pure, boundless awareness that is the space in which all these things appear and disappear. Our practice is to cultivate the knower, not the things that are known. And so, connected to the breath, the body is gentle and light. The mind is clear yet receptive to whatever may arise. And the heart is open. We can move more deeply now into our meditation. I close my eyes and I see clearly. I stop trying to listen and I hear truth. I am silent, yet my heart sings. I seek no contact and find union. I am still and move forward. I am gentle and need no strength. I am humble and remain whole, returning again and again to the breath, returning again and again home. And so I invite you to remain in a meditative state, connected with the breath. And I invite you now to bring your awareness to the sense door of sound, noticing the sound of my voice, or the sound of the air handlers, or any rustling in the room. And as you become aware of the sense door of sound, at the same time, can you keep a small amount of your awareness on that deep, still silence within? That silence which is not dependent on external circumstances. Next, I invite you to bring your awareness to the sense door of touch as you notice the feeling of your clothing upon your skin, or the feeling of the chair or the cushion beneath you. And as you become aware of matter, material, form, at the same time, can you keep a small amount of your awareness on that which is formless? In other words, can you be aware of awareness itself? Next, I invite you to bring your awareness to the sense door of sight as you slowly begin to open your eyes, letting in a little bit of light, not focusing hard on anything, just letting shapes and colors and objects come to you. And as you become aware of walls and people, colors, stuff, things, at the same time, can you keep a small amount of your awareness on the space around those things, as if you were seeing a negative photograph? Can you sense the space in this room? How objects come and go within the space? Can you sense the space around the building? Can you sense the space around our planet, which is hurling through the universe at a tremendous speed? We are never in the same space for more than an instant. And together, let's take a conscious breath. And releasing, and as you release, be present in the here and the now, in this time and in this place. Thank you, Rochelle. And so at this time, I'm going to go ahead and call up Sammy Aarons. Whoa, that was fast. And Mr. Carl Stafford to also join us. And while these two are coming up and making themselves comfortable, I want to just say a few words. The third jewel in Buddhism is Sangha. And the Pali translation of this is group assembly. Zen Master Thich Nhat Hanh says this: a Sangha is a community of friends practicing the Dharma together in order to bring about and to maintain awareness. The essence of Sangha is awareness, understanding, acceptance, harmony, and love. Now, in order to create fertile ground for these things to grow, we come together, not just on Sunday mornings to sit together, but in service to something greater around us. When a practitioner volunteers at home, at Sangha, at work, in the community, they become Sangha. It's not a practice, it is a way of life. So much more than just understanding the word. A wise spiritual community must serve something larger than itself. If people gather in community only to alleviate their own isolation and loneliness, to have their own needs fulfilled by others, then they miss the deeper sense of Sangha. Kabir, the Indian mystic, says, "There is only one thing that will satisfy my heart, and that is to serve you with every breath I take." This deeply devotional statement invites us to understand that to be of service to one another is an expression of our sacred connection. And today we have two people with us that I think express this sacred connection very, very well. And they do it right here in Kansas City as well as all over the country. And so I want to welcome Sammy Aarons and Mr. Carl Stafford. And so together we're going to do a little panel today and talk a little bit about this concept or idea of conscious activism, how to be in the world and not of it. Some folks sometimes call it engaged Buddhism. So, again, welcome, Carl and Sammy. Please adjust the microphones in any way necessary, and you should have some water right there next to you. And again, I want to thank you both so much for being here. I am very, very honored. Carl, you and I have met once or twice in the past, believe it or not, at a couple different events. You were actually the keynote speaker, so I was just out in the audience going, "Hey, Carl." And Sammy and I have walked this path together for many, many years. So I want to start with first talking, Carl, to you, if you don't mind. And I'd like to begin first with Carl talking a little bit about your, I don't know if it's a company or a movement. I think it's much bigger than a company, but it's called My Region Wins. And so I have some questions for you, Carl, but first I'd like for you to start first by just telling everybody a little bit about My Region Wins and how, what's been going on with that here recently.
So I want to say thank you for having me here. This is a great opportunity. So My Region Wins is Kansas City's creative nonprofit organization. I'm the creator, founder, visionary of My Region Wins. My background is in art. I asked Uncle Sam, hey, graduated from the Kansas City Art Institute. I asked Uncle Sam, hey, can I help people pursue their aspirational goals and dreams and be tax exempt for it? And they was like, yeah, go for it. And I was like, how does that look, though? And they was like, that's for you to figure out. That's why you'll form a board and do that. And I was like, okay. So we established ourselves in 2014, and it's been a journey. And as an artist, it's about discovery. And so in order for us to convince you all that we can help you pursue your aspirational goals and dreams, you have to see us pursue ours. So our mission is to transcend everyday challenges by using the arts to nurture creative and undeveloped ideas that shape society.
Wonderful. Thank you, Carl. And also, I understand that congratulations are in order. You recently received some wonderful grants to My Region Wins. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, as a nonprofit, so we're constantly trying to find grants. And so our work, our projects and programs are done at the intersection of art, nature, and neighborhoods. So we're always applying for either art grants, environmental grants, or neighborhood grants. And so in 2022, we received the Culture Producer Grant from Charlotte Street Foundation. And then this year we was recognized by, we received the South Kansas City Chambers. Let me rephrase that. We received the Community Impact Award from the South Kansas City Chamber of Commerce this year. And then in 2001, we was recognized by Grinnell College as the 2021 Innovator to Watch.
Wonderful. I think that deserves a round of applause. Thank you. That is awesome, Carl. So, Carl, what moved you from your desire, your intention to get involved with this cause and this movement, and to eventually actually take action. How are you as an individual motivated to do this, this work?
Motivation came in different ways. Motivation, being told by a millionaire that you cannot address environmental and social injustices and issues by using art and environment is very motivating. Also coming from East of Truth, the west side of District 5, where I'm from, and seeing all of the things that there used to be, like there used to be an amusement park on 75th and Prospect. Now, granted, people that look like me could not go there only on Fridays, and it was closed by, it was my age. But still, we used to have bowling alleys, attractions in this area that attracted people to come to the area, spend money, time, and then leave and then want to come back. So at 45, I'm 45 now, but seeing this at 35, you're like, wow, this is not done by accident. This is intentional, and there's nobody intentionally trying to address these things. And after graduating from art school, you learn that art is made something to just hang on a wall and look beautiful. Nature is something to be in a vase and just look beautiful. Well, art and nature are both functional. If art and nature had the same energy investment that sports and entertainment had, right? And then as a black man under 50, we are not only victimized, oppressed, but we're also vilified. So it's like, I have to not only talk about my oppressions, but I have to speak up and step up for everybody else's oppressions or situations. And then realizing that as an artist, we took this vacant lot, and it's kind of like the field of dreams. If you build it, they will come. It's like, okay, well, if you have lots of hope, let's develop something. And in 2021, we was able to generate enough revenue to give to the neighborhood. And the neighborhood was like, why are you giving us a check? And it was like, yeah, because we making money in your neighborhood, so here you go. And it was like, no one's ever done that before. And I was like, right? And so as an artist, the ego got really big, and it was like, okay, let's continue to do this. And now the drive is to realizing that what is being done is not rocket science, and it's a small world, 2 degrees of separation, we all know each other, and it's not what you know, it's who you know, and addressing oppression, poverty is not rocket science, so that's what makes it racist, capitalistic, misogynistic, homophobic. So it's like, that's what's driving me.
Well, thank you so much, Carl. Carl, you have a lot of folks that come and go through your community. What do you think moves or motivates other people to get involved with My Region Wins? As you meet so many people along the path, what are some of the different motivations that you're finding that people get involved and like to follow this vision that you are laying out?
It's the vision of winning. Mm-hmm. I mean, and it's crazy because J.C. Nichols had a vision. Granted, vision was wrong, but he had a vision, displayed that vision, and people not only bought into that vision, but they championed that vision. And it's like, to this day, we have no one, especially people of color, that is trying to champion a vision that's inclusive, And so it's like, just being able to demonstrate and display, not educate. So we demonstrate what native plants look like. We're not educating you, we demonstrate. There have been residents that have walked past the property for the last 2 years, actually 3 years, we have not had to cut the grass. So, because we brought in $1,000 worth of topsoil, spread it out, shouts out, resilient activists, bringing out some volunteers to help spread the soil. But I mean, this is just some basic things, spread it out the soil, and then started to plant native plants. And then the residents was like, wow, you're no longer cutting grass. Exactly. Yeah, and so it's just like, what is this grass? This isn't Kentucky bluegrass. No, this is buffalo grass, and this native plants. The minute you start asking me questions, that's when we can start, quote, educating. But our goal as an artist is to demonstrate and display. And like, it's in a neighborhood, the neighborhood is seen as take a vacant lot, and through our actions of just, good does not need a structure. Good just needs to be present, needs to be seen. Because before we came in this is a disinvested business zone that we're in. Okay. That Land Bank owned the property. So Land Bank owns over 2,000 properties throughout the west side of District 5, District 3, the northeast part of District 4. It's not by accident. Some of these properties are in business zones, disinvested business zones. So we obtained this property where illegal dumpings happen, prostitution happened, drug dealers was there. Once we started to come and just started saying hi, they started to leave. And it wasn't because that they was mad at us, it was because their clients no longer came around. And so it was like, wow, art, nature, and neighborhoods can have an impact on areas, not enforcement. Like, no one had guns, you know? And so when they left, businesses and entities in this area started to invest in their property, and then brought in tenants, businesses to sell their knickknacks or do hair. And the tenants would say, hey, Carl, you're making us feel safe when we close up our shop. And it's like, we're over here watering grass. Like, but thank you, you know, and at the same time, we're like, hey, city, like, cut a check, you know? Yeah. Like, real talk, because saying that we came in second in these and winning these awards, the city's like, we really don't know what to do with you. But as a black man under 50, I'm like, you know what? If I was dribbling a basketball, you would know what to do with me, right? That's where it becomes that offensive and that drive. It's like, okay, at some point in time, you won't be able to dismiss me, and you will have to publicly acknowledge that there is somebody in the city that has solutions, rather than going, but now I digress.
Thank you. Carl, how can they activate or get in touch with you or the My Region Wins? Is there a website that they can go to?
Oh, yeah. MyRegionWins.org. MyRegionWins.org. That's the website. We'll be tabling downstairs, so there's a laptop. I can show you some things, but yes, MyRegionWins.org.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Carl. And Sammy, I'm so happy that you are here. Sammy, please tell everyone a little bit about your organization, Resilient Activist.
Sure. So is this okay?
Yeah.
I'm a little short.
Can we bring that down a little?
Down a little?
There,
Okay,
yeah.
is that better?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So the Resilient Activists, we're a nonprofit, and basically our mission is to support the emotional well-being of climate and social justice activists. So difficult jobs, right? Anytime anybody's in those kind of fields, there's often the same impact or similar impact to other first responders. And there is this long-term frustration, anger. Carl kind of fits the bill, someone who's been at this for however many years and just finally getting recognition, or constantly receiving funding cuts, or some new legislator or some new elected official comes in and all of a sudden that program has been cut or reduced. And so our role really is to provide resilience tools along the line of meditation practices, deep nature connection and ways to be in nature mindfully. We also provide community, which is huge. We've done some research studies through both KU Psychology Department and the Kansas City University that shows that basically being in a community of like-minded people, you don't have to explain yourself to, and nobody's telling you, you're just, it's just not that bad, just don't worry about it. Statistically, being in community can provide a huge emotional well-being uptick. So that's what we're about, and that's why we're here.
Thank you, Sammy. Sammy, given the difficulties and some of the obstacles associated with this challenging work, what sustains you in your ongoing efforts at the Resilient Activist?
I just have to preface this I'm here today, and I'm a little choked up just being here. So that's just kind of where I am right at this moment. But mostly what sustains me is when I get a thank you note. And I'm with Carl. I'll take your money. I'll take all your money. We're a nonprofit, right? But what sustains me personally is I was down at Topeka last week. There was a program called Wealth Day that was sponsored by Climate Energy Project and Sierra Club in the Kansas State House. And we were tabling there, and I was talking to some people working for the Kansas Geological Survey and just kind of explaining what we did. And one of the women there just teared up and said, someone needs to understand what it's like for us to not to be able to speak the entire truth of what's happening, for example, with the Ogallala Aquifer, which is drying up out in western Kansas, because they're talking to legislators, they're talking to partisan people, right? Not bipartisan people. And they have to keep that in. They have to just stick to the science, and their hearts are breaking, right? So thank you notes, tears, keep me going, because I know that this is so vital and it's so important. And the thing is, if we were working with, say, physicians who deal with people who are dying or suffering or in grief, those physicians aren't typically also experiencing the same conditions. In this case, climate activists also are living those lives with their own families. So it's a really difficult emotional state. And so that keeps me going. New organizations like the Climate Psychiatry Alliance and Climate Psychology Alliance, Climate and Mental Health Network. These are national organizations. There's actually climate psychology in the UK, but this is finally a movement where people are understanding, the mental health community is finally understanding that this is something that we really need to address.
So finally the movement is seeing that the nature and our being, it's all one, it's all together. And when the earth is hurting, we're experiencing a certain aspect of that.
Here's the thing, we're human animals. What? Oh my gosh, who even knew, right?
Yes, right on. Carl, Sammy, I want to thank you both so much. Sammy, could you let them know how they can get in touch with the Resilient Activists? Is there website information?
Absolutely, the resilientactivist.org, and we're on most social media. We do not do Twitter, but we're on all the rest of them, and we would just love to have you connect. We're actually doing a program. The Climate Council is having their Earth Festival, so all the tablers downstairs, we're part of that program. We're not tabling, but we have a free workshop next Sunday from 10 to 10:45 on 4 steps for a resilient life. Very simple way to just really find your way to more activism in ways that feel joyful and uplifting. And it's on Zoom, so we'd love to see you there.
Thank you. Thank you both so much for being here and being a part of our Sangha today. We close our service each Sunday together in doing what's called a heart practice. And so we will share that with you and our Sangha, both near and far. And then you guys can find, now Sammy, will you be downstairs today or just you'll be around? Okay. No. So maybe in the lobby right here.
Yeah, between services.
Yes, yes. Sure. Yeah, that'd be wonderful. Folks can stop and talk with you, maybe get a card or something like that. And Carl, you'll be downstairs tabling, correct? Okay, correct. Wonderful, yes. Wonderful. Thank you guys again so much. So let's take a moment now to breathe in and move from our head to our heart. And as always, if you need to adjust your posture or shift as we transition from our time in discussion to a few moments connecting with our heart in a heart practice. And today's heart practice is known as the Heart of Service, based on a prayer written by the Dalai Lama. And so, as many people know, as we do our heart practice, it is not uncommon for some people to create an outward expression, such as the Anjali Mudra, which are the prayer hands, the focusing of the heart energy, or maybe you place a hand on your heart, or even both hands, or if you simply want to sit in your meditation style with your hands on your laps, we do invite you to flip your hands up though, allowing that focus outward as we share our deepest sacred wish within our hearts for all beings in all places to be well and to be at ease, and radiate that out from here. And so with that, let's take a conscious breath together. Checking in once more with the body, making sure that it is gentle, at ease, light. And allow my words to become your words as you recite silently to yourself these words of a heart practice known as heart of service. May I become at all times, both now and forever, a protector for those without protection, a guide for those who have lost their way, a ship for those with oceans to travel, a bridge for those with rivers to cross, a sanctuary for those in danger, a lamp for those without light, a place of refuge for those without shelter, and a servant to all beings in all places. And with that, let's take a conscious breath together. And in the true spirit of Dana, the Buddhist practice of generosity, temple services here are given freely. If you choose to give in the same way, please give with a generous heart, which means not in return for anything that you have received today, but rather so that those who may be seeking refuge will find it here in this temple with these teachers and with these teachings. And we take a moment of gratitude for all of our wonderful volunteers, those folks who work each and every day to help bring more opportunities for the Sangha to come together, to be in community, opportunities to learn, and opportunities to share and be of service to the community itself. We also tremendous gratitude for all of our wonderful ambassadors, those folks who have become regular monthly contributors. Again, it's not about the amount. It's just that the regular monthly giving helps us to set a budget here at TBC. The Dana boxes are located at the back of the meditation hall. And as we prepare to end our time together, let me find, I think I should number my papers because when I drop them, they all go in different, they go in different places. There we go. Yes, oh, and gratitude, of course, to Rochelle. Thank you for your wonderful music, Rochelle. Thank you, Sammy. Thank you, Carl. Thank you to everyone, especially a big thank you to Mr. Jim McGraw, who is the leader of the Temple Green team, who really did so much work to bring all of this together for us today and for our tree giveaway as well. Thank you, Jim. And of course, thank you to each and every one of you for sharing your heart and your presence and your practice with all of us here at Temple Buddhist Center. We certainly are the better for it. And as we prepare to end our time together today, I'm going to put the Bodhicitta prayer up on the board. We'll recite that together, and then I will sound the closing bell. And of course, gratitude to all of our Sangha members joining us live stream. There we go. All right, our Bodhicitta dedication together. May the pure, brilliant sun of Bodhicitta dawn in each and every heart and mind, dispelling the darkness of suffering and confusion unstoppably until all are illumined and awakened. And with our palms of our hands together in front of our hearts, as we go forth now from this place, may we enter each moment in innocence, guided by the wisdom of our hearts. And as we open our hands, open our eyes, shine our light into the world. Namaste. Thank you again so much, everyone. Thank you, Carrie, for the crumble cookies. So downstairs in Temple Space, of course, is coffee, tea, cookies, and water, and that's also where you will find our tabling event. So there are many organizations down there, all of them wonderful and excited to meet you, and opportunities for you to talk with them about how they bring sustainability or a conscious lifestyle to your home and your neighborhood. So those are all downstairs. That's the tabling event. And then don't forget, next Sunday is our tree giveaway. We have about 130 trees. We have bald cypress, we have shoemark oak, buttonbush, Kentucky coffee tree, coffee, and silver maples along with some sycamores. All of these local, natural, native organisms and trees that you can create and to better our environment and to help more forestation for our communities. And then finally, don't forget to sign up for our newsletter or our volunteer opportunities. And finally, don't forget that registration is now open for our 4-day silent meditation retreat in May. The theme for the retreat is the contemporary contemplative, exploring a new monasticism. And so that's May 16th to the 20th. You can be residential, which means you stay overnight with us at the retreat center. You can also commute for those of you that might be caretakers, and also you can join virtually. So there's a couple ways that you can join us for the silent retreat to deepen your practice and to work with this idea of the new monasticism in the Buddhist practice. Don't forget to stop by our TBC store online. And finally, I will leave this up there, all the wonderful things that Karen and Matt and so many members of our community are bringing to us, like the Buddha and the Bean on Tuesdays, Tai Chi Cha every Tuesday evening. Our daytime Buddhist study group just did a really cool thing with Pema Chodron, where they watched this online talk with Pema. And so lots of great stuff coming up. I'll leave that there with you guys. And so as you go into your day, I wish you peace, love, flowers, and trees.